Hey fellas, I know it's been a while since I've gotten anything posted. Last thing I really did was that Dodge truck, putting the big block in it. I've been working on some stuff, and I've got a great episode coming up for you right now. I am getting ready to go on a road trip with, I believe, 3 other YouTubers. The one you guys would probably know the best would be Dalton, Pole Barn Garage. We are all going to caravan out to his property in New Mexico. The plan is to find a vehicle out there that I can get running and hopefully drive back. And again, that's 1,000 miles from here. The biggest issue has been finding a vehicle that I can drive there one way. So, as you know, I've got a lot of junk around here, and I'll kind of show you what I have and what I planned on, what I finally have decided is worth risking the 1,000-mile drive. Probably not going to be what you expected. I'm not taking the DeSoto. That is my nicest, most reliable old car, but it needs to stay here. And this is all the junkers I've got in the front yard. I'm not taking the 53. That car doesn't even run yet. I have not done anything to it since it's gotten cold and miserable out. Then I've got that Dodge over there, no motor, no drivetrain, well, no engine, no transmission. I got a plan for it. Big block Dodge truck, while it's been doing well, it needs to stay here. This is going to be a one-way trip, bear in mind. Hopefully a one-way trip for whatever vehicle I take down there. I will have to go back and get it at some point, or it might just be a big fiery crash and disaster, and then, you know, I won't have to worry about what I drove down there in. Not taking the 77, it needs to stay here. And of course that 63, while that would be a good candidate, I almost took that one, or almost decided to take that one, but just no, it ought to stay up here too. Here's the panel truck that everybody knows and loves, and yes, I need to get back on this project. This, I am hoping and kind of gearing towards making this do Poverty Tour this next year. Well, next year, this year. It's New Year's Eve, so pretty much this year I'm hoping for this to be what goes on Poverty Tour. So this cannot go to New Mexico. And there's 52 Dodge. It runs, drives, stops, but I'm not leaving it anywhere. And then of course the Model T, that's a Model T that's not going anywhere. I don't trust it, and it only goes 30 miles an hour. Now this was what I was planning on taking, this 50 Dodge, the one that was locked up and I had to set on fire and beat loose with a sledgehammer. I actually got it out and got it running the other day. It drove about 20 feet. Ordered a bunch of parts, like a new carburetor, some other stuff. Got it to where it runs okay, but it is just so extremely bad. I mean, oh, I can't even get the door open. I guess that doesn't open anymore. It would take an act of God. Like Jesus would have to have been standing here to make sure that this would be capable of driving 1,000 miles. There's just no way. That leaves us with, not that DeSoto, that's garbage, the GMC. You guys have seen a little bit of this truck. I've used it some in some of the videos, but actually I think my first video I ever put up, like almost a year ago, was just kind of a compilation of what it took to put it together. So this GMC was parked, I don't know, 30 years ago or something. It was in a field. It didn't have a front axle, didn't have an engine, didn't have a transmission. It did have a rear end and torque tube, which I've changed. You'll see. I'm gonna get it inside and we'll get it up in the air and, well, or whatever. We'll get underneath it. I'll show you all about it. A few things I need to do to it, mainly maintenance. Yeah, maintenance, a few other things, but you will see why this is still a terrible idea, driving this truck 1,000 miles. While it's been dependable in the past, it's still an awful idea. And the tags aren't even that far out of date. We still got 30 days on those babies. We're good. let's see if I can get it fired up. Now this truck's been sitting several months, so let's see if I can get it fired up and get it moved toward the shop. Okay. Boy, it's been a while. Everything is covered in a nice layer of mold and dirt, mainly mold. Okay, do we have, let's see if the battery's dead. Starter's on the floor. Yes, battery is dead. Like, oh, the blower motor still works. But yeah. Dead battery. Bunch of leaves and whatever in here. Okay, let's pull the battery, throw it on the charger. That'll be a good place to start. Oh yeah, the door handle doesn't work on the inside. There. Battery's still in its original location here on the floor. There we go. Get this pulled out and throw it on the charger. It's not actually even an old battery, I don't think. There we go. Yeah. Napa Proformer battery. So, in other words, the cheapest battery money can buy from Napa. Go put this thing on the charger. And while that's charging, I'll go run some errands. So I will be back in just a second. Probably actually a few hours, but to you it'll be a second. Okay. Probably gonna take a minute to start. This thing was always kind of cold-natured, and it's been sitting a while, so. Keys on. Starter's on the floor. Give it about 1,000,000 pumps. Oh no. What? That's not good. I think that battery's screwed. Try this again with a battery that might be only a little bit screwed. You know, I really wish that I had like a good battery around here. I've got like 4 that are like only halfway decent. So, I guess let's go buy a new battery. Jeez. One brand new battery later. Let's see what it'll do. Oh yeah, much better. This is probably going to take a while. This is the GMC. So some of you guys know about this, some of you probably don't. I put this truck together when I was in college, about 2.5 years ago now. That's when I put it together. Yeah, I know. That is a 225 slant 6 out of a Dodge pickup. It's also got a 904 transmission and a 8¼ rear end. I know, don't kill me. Most people are gonna be like, well, why in the world would you put a slant 6 out of a Dodge truck in one of these? I'll tell you why, and I know some of you already know, but for those of you that don't, I'll explain. This truck was sitting in a field, didn't have a front end under it, didn't have an engine, didn't have a transmission. Basically just junk, and you'll see why. This truck is extremely bad. It is not worth restoring for so many reasons. Like, it's probably on par with that Henry J I've got over there in reality, or it was when I found it. So I got the truck, it was given to me, it was free, and I had a slant 6 and an automatic transmission and a rear end out of a Dodge pickup sitting around, and that was also free. So I just kind of put it in this truck to see how cheaply I could build a reliable vehicle. So it was mainly put together as an experiment, and of course it was done on a college student budget. So I built this truck for initially about $500 is what I had in it to get it on the road, and that's everything. That was making it a daily driver, and it has served me very well. It has never left me stranded, knock on wood. Well, now it probably will, but up until this point it has been extremely reliable. Of course, in the last year I really haven't driven it, so it's been sitting for a good part of a year. Occasionally I'd use it around the yard or whatever, but it's really hasn't gone anywhere in about a year. So that's why I put it together. Plus, to me, it would be neat to see if something that I engineered as cheaply as possible could make it 1,000 miles to New Mexico. So that would be kind of a neat thing for me. Let's dig into it. I kind of want to check all the fluids, grease and oil, everything I can. I need to change the oil. I don't even know the last time I changed the oil. And I'll kind of show you some of the sketchiness that's going on underneath this truck. We're going to be crawling under the truck, so had to suit up for the occasion. I actually never worn this thing, but it's actually old. I like it. It's a little on the small side, but maybe we can break it in. Let's get under it. I don't know when the last time it was I even changed it. It looks like I guessed right on the size of the drain plug the first time. Looks like it's that size. Oh yeah, looks great. That actually doesn't look too bad. Got a few thousand miles on it. And the filter, oh yeah, the filter's up there. Really convenient to get to. I don't know why they angled the filters up like that on these slants. But let me show you some of the fine features of this GMC. We've got a high quality exhaust system, flex pipe, and then a cherry bomb held up correctly. Beautiful. Got brake lines, brake light switch, and the brake lines are, you know, they're done this with safety in mind. One of the things I did to this that a lot of people are going to frown on, that was kind of, you know, I couldn't use a stock master. Well, I bought two stock GMC master cylinders, and I guess I just got two in a row that were no good. They wouldn't hold pressure. So that is a 70s Ford master cylinder bolted to a custom race car style bracket to be adapted to mount under the floor, and it works excellent. Oh, hi Agnes. Good kitty. I got a cat now. She showed up and I fed her and now she won't leave. But yeah, so here's the underside of the truck. Oh, another scary feature is this drive shaft. So that's a Dodge truck drive shaft that I cut and welded myself. So I had to shorten it to fit the wheelbase of this truck. And that's a Chrysler 8 1/4 rear end. I'll show you how I mounted that up. Well, as you guys know, these trucks have a torque tube that stabilizes the rear end and keeps it from being able to walk. When you put a rear end under one of these, you have to take that into consideration when you're doing anything but stock. So what I did at first, that's the original leaf spring, or the original rear end perch right there, and we just welded it up solid, hoping that that would be enough to try to keep the axle from walking forward. It just broke that mount. So the remedy for that was building that custom bar there and welding it to the back side of the axle tube, and then clamping it with another clamp around the spring to help with the axle wrap. That has seemingly worked just fine. I know it's sketchy and horrible, and a lot of people are gonna tell me that was a horrible way to do it, but you know, the results speak for themselves. So there's kind of the mechanical rundown of what we got going on here. Let me show you why this thing is so bad and could not be put back original. It was beyond restoring. So somebody would have had to do something along the lines of what I did, or spend $1 million to make a, you know, restored. This truck could be worth what, 10 grand? So you'd probably have to spend 30 to like make it nice, but you would have to have bought, the cab is ruined. The bed was savable, I guess, but front clip, cab, all junk. I'll show you. See, gone. Cab corner. I think this one, yeah, that one's gone. Front and back. The floor was completely gone, but carpet seems to have fixed that. I mean, even the doors, bottoms of the doors, gone. That cab corner gone. Also the bottom of that door. This door, I mean, it's just completely rotted out. The battery tray, I don't know if you can see that, that has been completely, it's rotted out and been replaced with, I don't know, somebody just used some channel steel and built a new one. You see this mysterious hump in the middle of the floor? That is where the cab actually has crunched down and kind of settled down on the mounts and the frame. There's no structure really to the cab mounts on this side of the truck. It used to have a really bad lean to the passenger side, and I've kind of done some things to fix it. Not anything great, but like that, I don't know if you'll be able to see up in there, custom cab mount there, which just kind of helps hold that side of the cab up a little bit, and there's some other plates back in there to kind of lift it up. But yeah, there's no structure. The cab mounts are just gone. Say if you hit the brakes real hard on this thing, the cab might just fly off. But yeah, that's the basic rundown. So don't try to tell me that this truck should have been restored and blah blah blah. What I did to it is at least better than it still sitting in a field. At least it's on the road again. And it would still be sitting there if I hadn't have done this. So at least now it's about to make the trek of its lifetime. Slap this new filter on here. I already put the drain plug back in, so we can fill it back up. Should take 5 quarts. Oh yeah, there's a better shot of one of the custom cab supports. If I hadn't have done that, this cab would sit down another 2 or 3 inches on this side, and that was not fun to drive around with. Okay, and this is going to be O'Reilly brand 1540. Most everything I've got gets 1540. I used to buy Rotella, but Rotella got to where they're real proud of their stuff, and I think they pretty much took all the zinc out of it anyway. So switched over to this. There's a couple quarts left in here. Might be enough. See where we're at. Take that with us. Oh, okay. We're low on antifreeze. Let me put some of that in there. There we go. Surely it can't be that low. Looks good to me. Oh yeah, this radiator was also free. You can see it's professionally installed. On the air cleaner, I have never changed it, I don't think. Might still be the old one that was on this motor when it was in a different truck. Oh, wow, I did change that. Well, that looks brand new. Oh, well, somebody's been living in there. Let's just dump that out. Well, this is going to take two hands because, you know, the little thing flops around. Looking this thing over some more, and the way that you know it is a slant 6 is because of the broken exhaust manifold. My attention was drawn to the front of the truck because there's some kind of mysterious leak coming from there, and that appears to be antifreeze. I went around and tightened all the clamps on the radiator hoses. Let me just show you the front end. I was gonna try to like grease the whole front end and everything, but every grease fitting I have found is either broken off or looks like that, which of course the camera's not gonna focus. Basically nothing to get a hold of. So we're not gonna grease everything. We're just gonna let it go dry. Whatever. Probably isn't gonna hurt it. I did have to put these leaf springs on the front. It did have broken leaf springs, and I couldn't use the old axle that was under this truck, so it was destroyed. So like when I said earlier it didn't have an axle under it, it pretty much didn't. So this is a different axle. Kingpins and everything seemed okay. Yeah, you know, sorta okay. Drag link, whatever, it's probably fine. The tires aren't that worn on one side, so the alignment's probably not that far off. Oh yeah, more severe rust. Excellent. Oh, and more. Fired it up. It really doesn't run too bad. It's kind of cold, so that's why it's... Oh, well, okay, fine. Try this again. Starter's on the floor. There. Come on. Well, checking for leaks here. I don't see any more antifreeze leaking, so I'm gonna call that a win. Before I go, I should probably check the transmission fluid and the rear end. It could use just a touch of ATF. Let's see if there's any in here. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, it's... Oh, no. Well, it's just cold. We're just gonna say it's cold. That's why it's that thick. But there's plenty in it. Smells fine. Looks fine. It's just cold. Cool. Okay, one more thing. Let's check the lights. And then let's take this baby to town and put gas in it. So, headlights. Got low beams. About tail lights. Yes, that side. Yes. Check our high beams. Yes, perfect. Well, let's go to town. This hood does not shut easily. Well, first try. Let me get my spare gas can and we'll go fill this baby up. And I'll get some extra fuel too. Okay, let's take this baby to town. Oh yeah, the steering is pretty terrible. It's gonna be fun for 15 hours straight, if it makes it that far. We survived the trip to the gas station. Fill this thing up, fill that up, and we get headed home. Well, since there's no gas gauge, the way that you can tell that it's full is when the cab starts smelling really strongly of gas. Nice. Let's get home. Okay, well, I survived the trip to the gas station. I'm back. I did just wire in a 12-volt power source in the cab so I can charge camera equipment and whatever. So, start loading this baby up. Got all kinds of tools and all kinds of stuff I need to take. Got one of these. That'll come in handy. One of those giant tool kits from Harbor Freight. 4 brand new wheels and tires, or 4 brand new tires. No wheels. Box of parts. Probably won't fly out. It's been a little while, but I think I got about everything I need. Tools. Oh, I need to grab a cooler. That's one thing I'm forgetting. Tools, tires, gas, 2 spare batteries, random carburetors just in case, and 392 Hemi parts. Wonder what that could be for. Guess you'll have to watch and find out. But I guess that means pretty well loaded up. Gonna try to leave as early as I can in the morning. I don't know what time that'll end up being. Hopefully earlier than later. The rest of the guys are gonna be heading out Saturday, so I'm leaving a day before them. But so yeah, that means I think I'm pretty well set to go in the morning. We'll see how that goes. It's the next day, and I think we're as ready as we're ever gonna be. So let's get out of here and let's see what we're in for. down the road. Haven't even made it to the highway yet. But just know, everything about filming in this truck is going to be terrible. So, bear with me. Try to do what I can. I just broke my little tripod I had for in here, so that's cool. But yeah, stay tuned. We're going to get a couple miles down the road, and I need to stop and fill up a cooler. We're off the interstate. We're going to be on 2 lanes for about 30 or 40 miles. I'm coming up on the Kansas border, so I'm going to pull off up here for a little ways, check everything out, and I got a cooler in the back to fill up. So here we go. Keep on trucking. Everything's looking good. Temperature, oil pressure, radio works. Not that radio. I got one hitting in the head. So yeah, this truck hates 2 lanes. They're way scarier than a big 4-lane highway. I'm gonna pull off up here and figure out why the GoPro's not working too. I was gonna say it'd be nice to get back in the warm truck, but that would be a lie because it's not warm in here. Let's hit the road. Oh yeah, so I guess I never really explained it, but since this truck is an automatic now, the clutch pedal became the starter pedal. Well, okay, it's supposed to start. There it goes. Yeah, isn't that nice? Oh, and kind of smashed, but fuzzy dice. Those are important. Well, let's get out of here. Next stop, well, not next stop, but next milestone is Kansas. Gonna be driving, oh, that steering's great. Gonna be driving pretty much all the way across the whole state of Kansas. I love it. I love Kansas. It's so barren and flat and cold and windy. It's awesome. I lived there for 2 years, so like I was saying earlier, if you can even hear me, this truck does pretty good on the highway. I could do 65, 70 fairly comfortably, like on an interstate, but on these little 2 lanes like I'm on right now, as you can see, it's terrible. Usually they're full of potholes and the truck has a lot of play in the steering, so it's all over the road. That is way more miserable than being on a big 4-lane interstate, which, you know, you wouldn't think that'd be the case, but it is. So yeah, these next about 40 miles are gonna be pretty terrible. So there's that. There we go, we're about to cross over into Kansas. That's the first state. Oh, got a big bump coming up. Brace yourselves. This thing doesn't ride very good. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Doesn't have shocks either, so it's kind of bouncy. This truck was definitely built with very little creature comforts in mind. Oh man, yeah, the corner's so nice. It just feels like it's gonna tip over. It's great. There we go. Now we're in Kansas. Well, got about 30 or 40 miles. Yeah, about 30 more miles on this road. We're gonna go through Lewisburg. We'll end up in Ottawa. Then in Ottawa, we'll kind of cut southwest, and we'll stop in Emporia, refuel, assuming we make it there. I mean, I'm talking like 100 miles down the road, so, you know, hopefully everything seems to be going pretty smooth so far, though. Well, haven't really seen anything too interesting worth filming, so just checking in, getting ready to get back on the interstate, and about 50 miles outside of Emporia. get out and stretch my legs a little bit because this is extremely uncomfortable. My hands are numb now too. Give you an idea how warm it is in here. But yeah, see you fellas in Emporia. Alright, finally up ahead is Emporia. We're gonna find somewhere to pull off up here and fuel up, make a pit stop. That felt like forever. It seems like that stretch of highway from Ottawa to Emporia feels like you're not going anywhere, especially in this thing. Swung in here to the Flying J. Let's get some fuel. I'm gonna run inside, make a pit stop. I can hear the cold Kansas wind outside. Can't wait. I was hoping the temperature would get warmer the farther from home I got, but so far that's not the case. Got the truck filled up here in Emporia. I think I'm getting around 15 miles to the gallon, approximately. I don't have a gas gauge. I don't have anything. I'll have to do the math on that with a calculator because I'm not very smart. Can't do math in my head that well. But according to the route, we're about to go through the Flint Hills, which are pretty, and we're going to cut through Hutchinson, Kansas, which I know there's a Harbor Freight there in Hutchinson. I think I'm going to swing in there and maybe grab a tarp or something to throw over the bed of the truck. There's a lot of stuff in there, and I'd like to keep it covered in case it rains or, you know, thieves. But yeah, here we are, first fuel stop. Let's get back on the road. About another 800 miles. This is awesome. Come on. There we go. Well, that's new. Belt squealing. It doesn't sound good. We're just gonna hope it goes away and I'm gonna ignore it. I just passed a trooper and he immediately flipped his lights on. That's the second one I've passed since I've been in Kansas that as soon as I pass them, they flip their lights on. I don't know if he's gonna turn around or what. I don't know. I don't know why. It makes me nervous though. I don't see him coming back. Oh well. You know what I was saying earlier about how you know this thing's full when you can smell the gas fumes? It's pretty stout right about now. Hello. A lot of people are waving at me. I think they're amazed that this thing's on the road. But yeah, try not to pass out or get too much brain damage from all the gas fumes in this thing. That's going to be a challenge. I pulled off to stretch my legs a little bit. I'm out here by some historic landmark. You guys can pause it and read that if you like. Pretty interesting. There's a lot of history out here. This part of Kansas is really actually pretty, as much as I've dogged on Kansas. But I'm out here just outside of the town of Walton. But yeah, just checking out the truck. Everything seems fine. Nothing's flown out yet. So yeah, get back on the road here shortly. Keep on trucking. Well, there's Hutchinson, Kansas over there. I thought my route was going to take me more to the middle of Kansas, or the middle of Hutchinson, but it didn't. So I guess we're not going to stop at Harbor Freight, which that's fine. I'm going to look for a place to pull off over here shortly, make another stop. Kind of getting a little hungry. I haven't eaten today, and it's I think it's about 2 o'clock now or something. I don't even know what time it is. Yep, we're going to keep on going. South of Hutchinson, Kansas now. I don't even know. I'll have to look at the map and see what other little towns we're going to be going through. Maybe there'll be something neat to see. We're about to get to the part of Kansas that I don't really know. So I went to college in McPherson, Kansas for 2 years, which is just north of here. So I kind of know this area, but once we start getting farther west, we'll be out of where I really know. So it'll be new. We'll both get to see something we haven't seen before. What the hell? We drove about 100 miles. We'll get some gas. Well, I just got gas. and more importantly, corn nuts. I like corn nuts. Oh, there's the GPS talking. So, now we are leaving South Hutchinson. We're going to venture out farther into the middle of Kansas. So, here we go. Trying not to get killed here. This thing does not have very swift acceleration or turn signals. So probably gonna get killed at some point. There we are, it's back on the interstate. Oh yeah. Back on the road again. Well, I'm out here in the middle of Kansas. Town's called Greensburg. I've never been here before, but I saw a sign along the highway a ways back for, it said old-fashioned soda fountain. Not a lot of those left, so I'm gonna go see if we can't find it. Might be kind of cool to check out. Hopefully it's open still. I think it's about 4:30. Hopefully they're open. I'm gonna go check it out. I guess that's it. That's not what I was expecting for an old-fashioned soda fountain, but I guess it's also a historical society or a museum or something. I guess I'll go run in and check it out and see what it's like. Might as well. Probably won't ever be here again. Well, probably won't be here again for a long time if I ever am, so I'll let you know how it was. I learned a lot about Kiowa County, or Kiowa, I don't know, whatever county this is. Pretty interesting. I don't know, history is something that's always been fascinating to me, so I like to kind of stop and pay attention to that sort of thing. The soda fountain wasn't really much to speak of. Not an old-fashioned soda fountain as far as I'm concerned, but anyway, the museum was really cool. If you're ever here, I would check it out. It's Greensburg, Kansas is where I'm at, but let's get back on the road. Kind of running out of time, so, well, we're going to be running out of daylight soon, so we better get humping. Well, just heard the GPS tell me that I better get comfortable because we got about 200 and some odd miles straight. It was like, just go straight for the next 206 miles. Cool. And there's nothing out here at all. But yeah. Eventually we'll get out of Kansas and we'll cross through the Panhandle of Oklahoma and part of Texas before crossing into New Mexico. So fingers crossed everything goes good, especially like here because there's nothing. I think the next town I'm going to come across is Liberal, Kansas. I just saw it was like 40 or 50 miles south of Dodge City or something over there. So, not a lot going on. So, this is one of the scariest parts of the trip. At least so far. I don't know. I've never been here. We're about to go even further into places I've never been. So, that also means I'm going to be driving through Oklahoma and Texas, New Mexico, whatever, at night. I've only got, I don't know, maybe another 30 minutes to an hour of daylight left. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear. We might end up stopping somewhere for the night. We'll see. I don't really want to be out here in all this in the middle of the night where I've never been in a truck that's like this. So I don't know. We'll check back in with you here in a little while. I'm out here east of Liberal, Kansas a ways. This rain is really great for the wipers that I don't have, so hopefully this doesn't last long or get too hard or we're going to have to pull over. But on a side note, dash lights are working. You can see they're, you know, kind of hanging down there, doing their own thing. But yeah, that's where we're at. Awesome. I had to stop. I'm going to have to wipe that off. I cannot see anything. It's not really raining anymore, but it just rained enough to, you know, make it to where I couldn't see out of the dirty windshield. I'm in Liberal, Kansas. I just drove over 100 miles and I used about 6 gallons of gas, so this thing's got to be getting pretty good mileage. But that also means we are over the halfway point. So I'm gonna press on. I'm almost into Oklahoma. And we'll just see how I feel. Maybe I can make it into Oklahoma or Texas or somewhere and find a place to stay for the night. Alright, fueled up one more time. grab some supper. Thought I was going to stop somewhere nice, but probably just need to worry about getting down the road. So, almost out of Kansas, finally. Thinking I'm probably going to stop somewhere in Oklahoma. But yeah, let's get back on the road. Truck's doing fine. I mean, I know you guys probably wish you were watching me struggle more, but it could still happen. You can say we're only about halfway, so a lot could still happen. But get on down the road. Maybe.
Lay it down and softly whisper.
Gotta love the gear reduction starter. I know this footage is gonna be terrible, but we just made it into Oklahoma, guys. Holy shit. This has been a long day, and it doesn't seem like we've gone very far, but we've traversed Missouri, now Kansas, and here we are in Oklahoma. And a truck that cost $500 to put together. I'm in a little town called Stratford, Texas, and had to pull off here. I wanted to check the lights on the truck and grab something to drink. Oh yeah, everything's still working. The next stop's gonna be Dalhart, Texas is where I'm going. That's about 30 minutes from here. And I'm gonna get there. Looks like they got some hotels. I'm gonna find a place to stay for the night. But yeah, truck is doing flawless. Knock on wood. Couldn't ask for it to have gone any better. I mean, maybe a little bit more comfortable would have been nice, but mechanically, this thing's doing fine. Let's hit the road. Found a place to crash for the night. Got me a fancy room with 2 queen-size beds, because that's all they had. I was looking for just one of those motels, you know, where I could park right outside the door, so I could pack a bunch of the stuff I've got in the bed of the truck inside the door. I've got all kinds of tools and other shit in here, but kind of drove through town and checked them out, and I figured if I'm gonna get robbed, I'd rather at least get robbed at my favorite hotel, which is a Holiday Inn. They're usually pretty clean. So anyway, I'm just gonna start packing some of this stuff in the cab. I know you guys can't see anything, but it is what it is. It's late, dark, and I'm tired. Good Lord. Hope I got enough room to spread out here. Got 2 full-size beds. Jeez. After, what did I drive? Like 600 miles in that truck? I am exhausted. The truck did great, but not comfortable at all. I'm gonna sleep like a baby. It's next morning. Everything's still here just like I left it. Kind of figured it would be. I mean, this is Texas after all, so I don't think anybody was gonna steal anything. But time to kind of regroup here, get back on the road. I've got about another 6 hours of driving today, I think. That's what it is. But I'm gonna get headed out here. I think I'm gonna find some breakfast. I think that would be the best move right about now. Let's go do that. Well, I just got finished with breakfast. Stopped here at the Cattleman's Cafe just outside of Dalhart, Texas. Excellent food. If you want a good chicken fried steak and you're in the area, I would suggest it. Great service too. Nice people. Well, back on the road. Got about another 6 hours. I'm gonna swing into Dalhart, fuel up again, and next stop should be New Mexico. I'm here in a town called Nara Vista, New Mexico. And I guess it's kind of a ghost town. I found a really neat old service station here. Those pumps are, it's gotta be from the 60s, maybe 50s. That's pretty neat. It's kind of a ghost town, like I said, but there's a few people still living here. Some neat old buildings. A lot of cool stuff. I'm not gonna stick around too much. I don't want to trespass that much. Oh shit. I don't want to get too close over there, but that's about a 49 or 50 DeSoto right there in the building. The old service station. That's really cool. But let's get back on the road. So look at that. Looks like that was a really old diner or something. That had to have been built probably in the 20s. But there's still some things here, some people here. Oh wow, look at that old motel up ahead here. Tucumcari, whatever, New Mexico. Just saw a sign for Main Street, so I figured let's swing off here and see what Main Street looks like. Doesn't look like a lot happening out here. Out here on the main drag. Pretty neat little town, really. I think Route 66 used to go through here, or it still does. Pretty cool though. We still got... Oh, I haven't even opened the hood of this thing since I got on the road. Looks like we might have a leak. Yeah, I smell antifreeze. Not sure where it's leaking from. If it is, maybe it isn't at all. Maybe I'm just smelling it. Maybe it puked some out of the overflow. But so far, the truck's doing great. Cool. I'm gonna stretch my legs a little bit, get back on the road. There's the mountain I've been seeing for the last probably 50 miles or so. Just outside of Tucumcari. But yeah, so far, going smooth. Not much to complain about other than the exhaust and gas fumes in the truck are giving me a massive headache today. But my ass isn't as sore as it was last night. Of course, I haven't driven quite as far yet. But yeah, Tucumcari, New Mexico. Mexico, and I started to panic because I couldn't find a gas station anywhere. Thankfully, just found one right over there. I have not gotten fuel since I was in Texas, so it's been a while. And I don't have a gas gauge, so I try to fill up at least every 100 or 200 miles. I think I'm getting about 15 to 20 miles to the gallon, which is not what I would have expected at all, but anyway, I'm gonna swing off here and get some gas. Somewhere around here, around Roswell, I found where all the trees are. Look at them all. They're all here. That's why I didn't see any on the way down. I wonder what they're doing over here. Must be, I mean, I guess some kind of tree farm. I don't even know what kind of trees those are. I got out, stretched my legs for a little bit. I'm up on top of a great big hill. People are flying by. But I've got about, it's like about 80 miles till I get to Dalton's place, so I think I'm just gonna cannonball it straight, all the way, no stopping, just get it over with. Probably got enough gas in the truck. If I don't, I got 5 gallons and a jug in the back, so that'll get us there. I'm just ready to get out of this thing. It's uncomfortable after a while, but let's get on the road, try to knock this out. Alright, let's hit the road. I think Dalton said there's at least one mountain that I have to go down or something, so that's cool. Let's see. Try not to get killed pulling out here. Sitting on top of my suitcase and then 2 boxes. So that's probably why the camera angle is terrible. Sure is desolate out here. Very pretty. I wish you could smell the combination of gasoline fumes and exhaust fumes in this truck. It's top notch. It's great. And to finally, at least it's warm enough, been able to roll the window down and get some fresh air in here. Jeez. People just fly by too. I feel like you're gonna get killed. This thing will do the speed limit. Like, well, really 70. I've had it up to 70. I'll tell you what was pretty cool was jamming out to some Merle Haggard, Hank Sr. I like that kind of music. I listen to mainly 50s through 70s stuff. I like country, I like rockabilly. I'm sure you guys probably could have figured that one out. Oh, we got a big hill coming up here. Oh God. Wow. Everybody hold on. Well, everybody, it's just me. time. It's been pretty neat. I've ran into a lot of nice people. Oh dear God. Oh, I really wish the GoPro was charged so you could see this. I am just coasting. That is a hell of a hill. Or a mountain, I guess. Hopefully this is the only one. Let me tell you guys, the brakes on this truck they work, but they're kind of sketchy. The guy that put them on kind of half-assed it. This truck was never meant to drive more than like around town. And here I am, you know, almost 1,000 miles from home. Boy, I wouldn't have wanted to go back that way. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to. I have arrived. I need the hell out of this truck. My God. Out here at PVG West, and I quite literally had to break in. But I think the rest of the guys are all about 5 hours behind me, so got some time to kill now. I'm not quite sure what to do. I don't really want to get back in the truck for a while though. I don't want to relive that horrible experience for a while.